Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fiction in Real Life. I'm Jennifer Moore, and I'm here with Julie Daines, Heather Moore, and Jen Johnson. And we are excited today. We have I'll first let everybody tell just something that they're doing really quick. What I'm doing is I'm just in the middle of launching Healing Hazel is my newest book, and I'm kind of doing the marketing and all that launching stuff. What about you, Heather? What are you up to right now?
So I'm about less than a month out from releasing my Victorian novel called In the Shadow of the Queen, which is about Queen Victoria and her daughter, Princess Louise. So just marketing and, stressing, all that fun stuff.
What about you, Julie?
I'm just, doing what I do, which is pretty much research and write really slowly on my next exciting project.
It's your secret project still that you're not.
I hate secret projects. I hate it when authors say that.
It's secret, but I will say that our trip to England is integral to my new project.
Oh, good. In fact, we should bring that up really quick, is that we are on our way to England today. And so we hope that you'll stay tuned for just fun updates that we'll be posting along the way.
And I'm working on,
you lagged.
Yeah, we lagged. I was waiting for Jennifer to stop freezing.
Okay, I'm just frozen. Okay, so Jen, what about you? What are you working on?
I'm launching A Tenuous Betrothal this month. So that's my Regency Royal third book. And it's just been a lot of fun. Reviews are fun. Blog tours almost done and Bookstagram tours starting. And I'm just watching the magic and stressing about all the people reading my book.
Yep. Yeah, sorry about that lag. So like Heather said, we are headed off. Probably when you watch this, we are sitting in the airport looking at our phones and just waiting to get on the plane but anyway, we have a couple travel stories. We send out a request for people to send in travel stories, and there are some funny and scary and weird travel stories that are out there. So we decided to focus on 3 of them, and we chose positive ones with happy endings because we want to have good karma on our trip. So Jen, you have a funny story that you can tell us.
I do. My dad is my big traveler in my family. We shared his story in Africa one time, but he was on an airplane once, and apparently this is a thing that happens. It can happen. He was up in the air, and just all of a sudden the plane dipped, and it wasn't just a little quick, it wasn't just a little quick stomach lurch. It was like a literal drop of many feet straight, and then it was like an air pocket, I think they call it. But he did the thing. He watched in the movies when you see the coffee go up out of somebody's cup and then it moves over and it lands in someone's lap. That literally happened to my dad. So it's a real thing. He was glad he had his seatbelt on, and every now and then this happens on airplanes, and it's really not even that dangerous, but that's part of the reason why they say fasten your seatbelts when you're sitting. There you go.
Okay, I think it sounds like Scooby-Doo, like a Scooby-Doo scene, right? I would book it. I think that's hilarious. I don't know how I would describe it very well, or what incidents, what could be happening for that to happen, but I would love to put that in a story. That's hilarious. What about you, Julie?
I would book it. I think that's a funny story. I mean, it's a story and a safety tip all in one. So it's like win-win.
Heather?
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to book it because it's kind of a comedic moment. Maybe it could be like a intense spy thriller you're writing, and all of a sudden the coffee lifts from the villain over to the guy that's spying on him. I don't know. It could be just kind of funny or quirky that way.
Nice. And what about you, Jen?
I would book it. Same reasons as y'all. I think it's funny and good, and it could be used in so many different ways. And most people don't really know about it, so it's kind of intriguing, which I think is cool.
Yep. Classic humor. Always good. Okay, Julie, you're going to tell us a story that was sent in.
Yeah, someone sent in a story, but they wished to remain anonymous, so we will not say the name. But they emailed us this story about when she and her husband were traveling in Europe. And they were in Italy, and I think they were kind of with part of their family or something at the time. But they decided to take their own little adventure and go from Italy up to Switzerland to see the Matterhorn. So they jumped in a car and they just drove off. And as they were driving, it was all beautiful, of course, through the Alps. But they pulled over at a gas station and ran in to use the restroom and grab a drink. And then they ran back out, jumped in their car, and they were on their way. She said they got super lost along the way and it took them forever, but they finally found their little hotel and they got all checked in and everything. And then they were going to go out and take the tram thing up to the Matterhorn to watch the sunset. But it turned out that as they were grabbing their stuff, she couldn't find her wallet. And in her wallet was like 300 euros and her credit cards and her ID and everything, but also like some papers and photos that were really like keepsake items. Anyway, so they had a panic attack because she had finally realized that she had left her wallet in the stall in the bathroom at that gas station. So, what are they going to do? They jump back in their car and they drive back to Italy. But in their rush to leave, they had forgotten to grab their passports, right? Because on the way in from Italy to Switzerland, they got stopped. They had their passports checked. The guys were searching their car, but they had forgotten their passports. Well, at this point, it was like all in, all or nothing. We just have to go for it. So they get to the border control. She has no ID, no money, no passports for either her or her husband. And the soldier guys at the passport center, the border patrol, were like totally searching the car in front of them and checking their passports and everything. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is never going to work out. But they get to the border patrol and the soldiers just wave them through and they didn't even have to stop. Wow. So anyway, now they're back in Italy and suddenly they realize, well, okay, this is bad because our passports are not even in the same country with us anymore. But again, they're all in. It's too late to turn back now. So they go back, they get to the gas station. She runs into the gas station. She's trying to weave through the people to get to the bathroom. And the lady behind the counter is like, you, in English, you. And she waves her over and she holds up the wallet. She has the wallet and she gives it to the person. And she's like, you better be more careful. Anyway, she checks her wallet. All the money was taken except for like 5 euros, but her ID was still there. Her credit cards were still there. And all of her keepsake items were still there. So it was just like one miracle after another, but still they have to get back. They still have no documentation. So they jump in the car, they drive back, and amazingly, there's not even anyone at Border Patrol because I guess it's so late in the night that they just left it open. Wow. So they made it. They lost a bit of money. They were very traumatized. She said it was so traumatic. We didn't even speak of it for years. So, yeah, a little travel PTSD there, but it all worked out minus a couple €100.
Oh, that's so stressful. We've had things like that where
so stressful.
Wallet is lost and like you can't cancel your credit card because the hotel is reserved under your credit card.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh.
And they don't speak the language, nothing. So
and
it's
you
super
look
scary.
like a bad guy. You look like, it's like you're trying to sneak across the border.
It makes you look sketchy. What are you going to say? Oh, sorry, I lost my wallet and my passports, Well,
if I could think of a way to put that into a story, I think I'd book it. Maybe I would change it up a little bit. Keep the stakes high. Now you're in a country without a passport and your wallet's lost and everything. That's very cool. It was a cool story. Thank goodness for those guys being okay. Jen, what do you think about it? Would you book it?
Yeah, I think I would. And though I love the miracle part of the story where it all just works out, I think I agree with you, Jennifer. I would probably make everything not work out just because it makes a better story for a book. But it's a really cool, positive story for real life where, sometimes things just work out and you can get where you need to go, even though you sort of lost your wallet and your passport.
Heather, what do you think?
I agree with Jenna. I think that like the story itself, the literal story would be good, like in an article, like inspirational kind of story. But if I was going to put it in a novel, I'd definitely make the stakes higher and have more peril and not have it quite so easy. It wasn't easy as far as the emotional stress, but maybe they weren't quite so lucky.
They didn't end up in jail, so that's
Right.
Yeah. An international incident. Okay, Julie, what do you think? Would you book
I
it?
honestly think I would book it too. In fact, as I was reading this email, I was like, the whole situation could be an entire cute contemporary romance. Maybe some girl jumps in a rideshare type car like an Uber, crosses the border, whatever, and then all this stuff happens. I mean, the whole entire situation could be a whole contemporary romance rom-com thing, is if you wanted to use it that way.
That would be fun. And maybe the hero is the Uber driver. I don't know.
Right, exactly. So maybe the
love it.
hero's the Uber driver, or somehow, these people end up together in this situation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
The Uber driver's like, I can get you to Switzerland, no problem.
right, exactly.
Everybody goes home at night. We're fine.
It'll be fine.
That's the part of the story that I couldn't believe. Do they just
I don't know.
they're like,
I
well,
don't know.
times
Maybe they ran for a coffee break. I don't know, but
no one was there.
no one was there.
Okay, here's our last story, and I'll just tell it really quick. It's actually my sister's story, and it's just really funny, and we wanted to end on kind of a happy, funny note. So my sister was 14. She was on a study abroad with the 9th grade French class, and they were in the Louvre in Paris. And she was waiting for her friend. I guess the bus was loading up for them, and they all had to go. And this is back in, like the 80s or 90s. We didn't have cell phones or anything. So she's waiting for her friend to go to the bathroom. Then they get in. So they're alone. And the rest of their group's already gone to the buses. So they get on the elevator, and she said this group of people kept coming and like seeing how many people they could squish on the elevator. And she's like, every time more people came, everybody was like laughing. And she said, we were just mashed in there, and everybody was kind of acting like it was this weird, joke. And she's like, we didn't understand what language they were speaking. I don't know, where they were from, this group. But she said, you could feel that the elevator was not right, with like all those people in, the doors close, and then something weird happens. And after she said it stopped, the lights went off, and people were kind of laughing at first, like, oh, that's weird. And then she said after about 20 minutes or a half hour, it was total chaos in there. People were bawling, and nobody.
Oh my gosh.
Did I lag again for a sec? Sorry.
Yeah, for a sec. You're good now.
But so they're packed so close, and they're crying and everything. And finally the firemen have to come and wedge open the door and pull everybody out one at a time. Oh, sorry, I'm so laggy. Okay, so anyway, I would book it. I think it's funny. It would be a fun meet cute for a rom-com. If I lag again, you guys just go. Heather?
So, okay, I would not book it because I have a little bit of claustrophobia, and really it just pertains mostly to elevators, which I will get in, and tunnels, which I won't get in. If it's like obviously I would drive through a tunnel, but I don't know. I just, whenever I watch anything that has to do with elevators being stuck, it really does create a lot of stress inside.
Okay, Julie?
I think I would book it. This, it's hilarious. It's a hilarious story. I mean, it's sad at the time for the people crying, but I mean, I could just picture. And didn't you say that it cut the power out of part of the wing of the Louvre from this whole situation?
Uh-huh.
I think it's kind of funny.
Okay, Jen, what do you think?
Totally. I think it's hilarious. It would be a funny rom-com thing, but it would also work in a suspense. I'm thinking, European Louvre is always in a lot of suspense movies or novels or whatever. But anyway, I would book it. I think it's cool. I think we should try it. Should we stop by in Paris?
We should try it.
We should. I would. Well, I don't know. I'd have to
yeah. Sorry, Heather. Never mind.
Heather, you be ready to call the fireman, and we'll be
okay. I'll have my phone ready.
Hey, so like we said, and Heather, you can tell about our little trip.
Oh yeah, so just we pointed out a little bit earlier that we are going to we're heading to England actually today. And we planned this trip for a while, and we're really excited just to share tidbits with you. And so stay tuned for those coming up.
Okay. And thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to write in your stories. It's the funnest thing to hear the stories that come in. People are so creative, and stories about anything we've had. Did you see a ghost, or did you have something weird happen to you in a department store? Any funny,
Anything, really anything.
Yeah, we're good.
Also, I think we have a giveaway for today. Is that
yeah, we do.
We do have a giveaway. So speaking of cool suspense stories, Eye for an Eye is by one of our favorites, Stephanie Black. And this book it's a novella. It's fabulous. It's scary. It's stressful. It's all the stuff that you like in a suspense book. It's one of my favorites of hers. And so we're going to give that away to somebody that leaves a comment in one of the places where you comment on our Facebooks or on YouTube or wherever you are seeing this right now. Just give us a little comment. And thanks for joining us for
Fiction
in
Real
Life.